Hello, 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 and welcome to another live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead. No, I'm not going to be a cartoon tonight, that's just my new poster. Here I am. Hope you're all keeping well, and it's nice and sunny and lovely where you are. So, all gone a bit cloudy today here, but fingers crossed we'll get some sunshine again at some point. So, welcome to another Kanikapila Monday. Now, a couple of things to tell you about. First of all, hi guys. I just say hi to everyone first. Hi Fran. Hi Harry. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're doing well. Fantastic. So a couple of things to tell you about. I will still be doing these Kanikapila Mondays for the foreseeable future. I hope to do them for years and years and years to come. But what we're going to do is we're going to alternate them every Monday with a new idea that I had. And basically, I've been teaching ukulele. Oh my goodness, been teaching for like 25 years or something scary like that now. You can tell by the white hairs on my beard. But I've been teaching online for quite a while. Many people have done my courses and Kanikapilas and things like that, and they've got to a point where they want to do something regular, but beyond just playing chords. And of course, Kanikapila is all about playing by ear, but mostly it's chord based. So what we're going to do every other Monday at exactly the same time, we're going to do Melodic Mondays. This is my new thing. And do you like my lovely picture there of Mozart playing ukulele? Of course, the ukulele wasn't actually in existence when Mozart was around, but excuse me, if he was, I'm sure he would have played it. So we're going to do this. We're going to alternate these with Kanikapilas. So basically, one Monday we'll do Melodic Mondays. The next Monday we will do Kanikapila. Oh, thanks, Tim. Hi, guys. And of course, if you're not sure which is which when it's coming up, just have a look on the website. They're both listed, mattsteadukulele.com. Just go to the top where it says live lessons and they'll be listed. If you've got my app, which you'll find on the App Store and the Google Play Store as well, you can also find out the next few events on there. I've created a new tab. If you go to the bottom of your app and click events, it will show you the 3 events that I've got coming up. So the next live lesson, the next Melodic Monday, and the next Kanikapila Monday. So we'll keep them kind of swapping over like that. And if we miss one, we'll keep whichever one we miss. So say it would have been Kanikapila Monday. We'll just push that back a week because then it means that you haven't got to wait ages and ages for the next one. So hopefully that'll work all right. And having said that, we are going to be away next week. So next week is a bank holiday. So we are going to be away next week. I'm doing a long weekend with the family. So next week, no Kanikapila, but the week after that, we'll have a Kanikapila. The week after that, we'll have our first Melodic Monday. So we're going to start that on May the 5th. Now, that is another bank holiday, but I'm going to work that one. So that will be happening. So no Kanikapila next week. Week after, we're back to it. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Oh, I must called you Shirley then, Sheila, because of Gail's surname that came up. Hi, Sheila. Okay. Anyway, enough of me rambling. That's what we're going to do with Kanikapila and Melodic Mondays. All the details are on the website. Don't forget, not long to go until our Spanish retreat adventures. I think there might be 1 or 2 tickets left if you want to come and join me in Spain. Beautiful village in the south of Spain called Galcin. And I'm going to be teaching at Matt Parkin's event from the Awesome Ukulele Academy. And we're going to do loads of teaching, open mic, all sorts of stuff. So come along if you can. Again, details on the website. Hi, Victoria. So that's coming up. Thanks, Harry, for the ticker. That in 38 days, which is super exciting. And of course, don't forget, if you can and you would like to, it would be amazing to see you on the next cruise. I'm super excited. Get in touch with Donna and Harry and book your place when you can. One more thing and then I promise we'll get started. Just to let you know that this week we've got a live lesson. Every other week on a Wednesday we have a live lesson, and this time we're going to work out Sweet Caroline by ear. Now we are going to do Sweet Caroline in our Kanikapila sheets tonight, but I'm going to make sure you're not allowed to cheat. Make sure you don't have your Kanikapila sheets on Wednesday. Have the sheets for Wednesday, because we're going to work this one out by ear, and we're going to do it in a different key probably anyway. So come and join me for that. It's going to be basically putting into practice everything that we learned in the last live lesson about chord personalities. All these live lessons you can watch back anytime. There's a whole archive of them, over 100 of them going back through the years. So do look up. If you missed that last one, come and join him. Now, this week's theme's quite unusual. It's all songs with the name Caroline in them. The reason being, I was trying to think of what to do for this Kanikapila, and I was listening to one of my favourite records, and you guys know this already probably, but one of my favourite records of all time is Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Just absolutely beautiful. And the last song on that album is called Caroline No. Really, really beautiful. And me and Sharon, my wife, started talking about it, and she was like, do you remember our song Caroline that we recorded with the band? And it was like, oh yeah, I wrote and recorded a song called Caroline. So I thought I'd teach you that one, which is going to be the second song tonight as well. Isn't it? Oh, that's great. Hopefully you do look the same in your 50s as your 30s, Victoria. I'm the same. I've still got posters of me without a beard when I was younger that I sometimes use for my ukulele. And people say, who's that? See, it was me, I promise. Anyway, so I had this song called Caroline, so I'm going to teach that to you. And then when I started researching it, there are so many songs that use the word Caroline. I think maybe because it's a kind of fairly well-known name and it has those lovely 3 syllables to it. So we're going to start with Neil Diamond's classic Sweet Caroline. This makes me think of the football, because it kind of became the unofficial English anthem, didn't it, at the Euros last time. Okay, so you guys probably know how Kanikapila works, but just in case we've got any newbies, what we do is we take a particular key of music. In this case, this first one, we're in the key of G, and we number the chords using something called Nashville numbers, where we basically number the chords 1 through to 7 in every key. So in the key of G, that's G, A, B, C, D, E and F sharp. Every key has a certain amount of sharps and flats. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. And all of those chords in any key have different types. So the first, the fourth and the fifth chords, G, C and D, are all major chords. The second, the third and the sixth chords are minor chords. So that's A minor, B minor and E minor. And then finally that seventh chord, the F sharp, is a type of diminished. You'll see F sharp diminished come up occasionally. Now obviously all those chords don't necessarily come up in a key. You get more the ones that are most common, and the most common of all are those major chords, the 1, the 4 and the 5. And if you have a look at Sweet Caroline, that's mostly what we have. The verses goes from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, then 1 chord to the 5 chord. The pre-chorus is almost the same, but it has a little E minor in to add a little bit of melancholy in there. And then the chorus is pretty much the same thing again, although there's a really nice descending set of chords, which we'll talk about here, which is really, really beautiful. Oh, sorry to hear that, Karen. I hope you're feeling a lot better soon. So rest up, and we'll try and sing as loud and proud as we can for you tonight, and hopefully that will cheer you up. You can always sing along. We've got some classics tonight, Sweet Caroline and some Beach Boys. Okay. So that's how it works. Now, the reason we do these boxes is it means that even if you've never played a piece of music, you can play along, because all you have to do is count to 4 on each of these boxes, because we're in common time for this song, 4 beats in a measure. That just means we play the chord 4 times. So, for instance, the intro, which we're going to do using a D7 chord, you could do your Hawaiian D7 like this, or if you prefer, you can do your barred D7 like so. And we would play that for 4 measures. So that just means we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. squeezy, you see. So it's just, Louis Armstrong once said, playing music is just counting to 4 over and over. And it really is, unless you're playing a waltz, just to trick you. Notice that intro, it has a ×2, so we would therefore play all those measures again. We do a similar thing in the verses. So it starts on the 1 chord, and that's a really common thing to do on any verse because the 1 chord sets the scene and it feels resolved. So we have the 1 chord getting us going. Oh, let me just get the lyrics up so that I can sing along. I should remember this off by heart because of the football, but let me just move it along. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Where it began. The next chord in any verse, the most likely one to come up is the 4 chord, because that creates a sense of change in any key, G, A, B, C, and that's C in the key of G. In any key, that chord creates a sense of change without too much drama. So many pop songs and folk songs just go between the 1 and the 4 chord. I can begin to know him. Then we resolve to the 1 chord again. But then I know it's growing strong. Then we get that D chord. Now the D chord in the key of G is the 5 chord. Again, we could just use our fingers, G, A, B, C, D, like so. And that creates a sense of tension. So the verse is doing something really simple but clever, where we have resolution, change, resolution, and then the tension of the 5 chord makes you want to go round and do it all over again. G, C, and back to G. And then this time at the end, notice we have a D major going to a D7. You can either do it this way, go to a Hawaiian D7, or you can turn it into a barred D7 like that, or you could even change to a D7 like this. So any of those is perfectly acceptable. So that's how it's going to work with this in terms of the boxes and the chords. And this one's 1969. We're going back to for this one by Neil Diamond. And if you have a look at the fascinating facts in the back, which I think Esther did them this week, there's some interesting facts about the song. So there's a couple of people that Neil Diamond said that he wrote it about. And the one that he originally said he wrote it about was Caroline Kennedy, who was the daughter of John F. Kennedy. And he said he had this picture of her that somebody took with their camera, it might have been himself, riding a horse, and it kind of stayed with him all these years, and he had this idea of Caroline on the horse, and that's where this is the picture in question. If you kind of zoom in, you'll see JFK there and the First Lady and his daughter there. But then later on he changed his story to say it was about his wife, but he needed a 3-syllable name. So who knows, but that's the story anyway. Let's keep going then. So in terms of the strumming on this one, we're going to do a really simple walk, running, running, running. What does that mean? Well, quite simply, we're just going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. This is often called the island strum. Some people use the calypso for the island, but I think of this as the island strum. So it's a down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Don't sweat too much if you're on an up or down. Just count with me. Walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. Like so. And you'll be right as rain. So that gives you... It's got a nice swing to it, hasn't it, with that strum, which I think works really beautifully, which is great. So we've already done the intro and the verse, and that intro part, the D7 chord, is also going to be an instrumental after the first chorus. I'll remind you of that in a minute. The pre-chorus is really lovely. We get the building part. This is the bit that everyone loves, you know, the hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. The kind of the lyrics build in pitch, which is really lovely. And the chords are a really common chord combination, a 1-6-5-4. Let's have a look at that then. So G chord is your 1 chord, set in the C. Then the 6 chord comes beautifully after that 1 chord because it's only 1 note difference. Notice E minor from G. The only difference is instead of this note, we have this note, an E. So instead of a D, we have an E. You can keep that finger on or you can take it away. And that's why that follows on beautifully. And the E minor is only a whole step away from D, so it leads beautifully into the 5 chord. And then we come down to the 4 chords, which is quite a natural thing to do. So this is a really common chord progression. 1, 5, sorry, 6, I can't count. And then 5, then 4. Now at the end here, we've got D major for a whole measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we play it for 2 beats, 1 C and 1 D. So it'll sound like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, C, D. And that's that kind of classic bit into the chorus. It almost like jolts you awake into the chorus, which is super nice. As I say, that progression is really, really common. In the key of C, the 1 chord would be C. 6 chord would be A minor. 5 chord would be G, and the 4 chord would be F. And you've probably heard that combination in hundreds of songs before, C, A minor, G, F. It's really common, isn't it? And that's because of the way all of these chords fit together beautifully. So see if you can memorise that. Doesn't matter if you can't memorise it right now, but see if you can do it later on and come back, and it's a great, great thing to do. Let's just do one of those pre-choruses. So from the top, that pre-chorus with a G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I always do this. I need to get my lyrics ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands. E minor. Touching hands. Then you do. Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Sweet Caroline. Isn't that lovely? Going into that chorus, really super sweet. That little kind of 5-4-5. It's like a little dip almost, which is really lovely. Yeah, Indrani, I didn't put 2 and 2 together either. Indrani was just saying the penny just dropped who's in the photo. That is JFK with his daughter and wife, of course. Yeah, I didn't realise until I read the fascinating facts in the back this morning. I went through them and it was like, oh, that makes sense now. Okay, cool. Okay, let's have a look at the chorus then. Really, really simple chords, but the timing's a little bit tricky on this one. So we have the G chord, the 1 chord for a whole measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the C chord. Now, if you struggle with this, you could just stay on the C chord for the whole of the next 3 measures. But if you want to put that little pop, pop, pop in, we play C for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. 1 beat of G and then back to C. I'll show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just a little quick G chord. Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. You can almost sing the trumpet part as you play it. I find that kind of helps me with the timing. So just a kind of a nice little kind of punctuation there, which is beautiful. Then we go to the 5 chord for tension, a whole measure. And then the next bit, we do a similar thing, only look at the beats there, the diagonal lines. We have 2 Ds, 1 C, and 1 D. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Sound familiar? That's because it's exactly the same as the last measure of the pre-chorus. So you've already done that. Okay, so it's not too bad. Just takes a bit of practice with the timing. You can always slow this down, watch it back later if you're not sure. Again, for those measures, you could just stay on D for the whole thing and it would sound acceptable. I just like that pop, 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 the pops of those changing chords, which is really nice. Then we come to my favourite bit of the whole song. We've got the 1 4 1 again. I've been da 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 da, and then have a listen to this next bit. I love it. Notice all the chords feel like they're kind of falling down a hill. We got that real nice descending pattern at the end. That bit where it's now, oh, 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 or is it, yeah, I, isn't it, is the word that he sings over that bit. So what's happening is we've got the chords from the key of G. We call them the diatonic chords, the natural chords that come up in any key. And he's just playing from the 5 chord going backwards to the 1 chord. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and then eventually when he goes back to the verse 1. So it's just all the chords from the key in order counting down, which is really, really beautiful. And it creates this almost like descending feel, which is really lovely. So 2 beats of D, 2 of C, B minor. This is a tricky old chestnut. You're going to bar the whole of the 2nd fret. Get that finger as close to the metal fret as possible. Don't have your bar back here where it'll buzz. Have it here where it'll be nice and clean. And then 3rd finger over here on the 4th fret of the G string. This finger looks like it's doing something, but it's not. It's just floating about there trying to get out of the way. Okay. If you find that really tricky, you could get away of doing a G major 7. Just play the bottom 3 strings of the 2nd fret like this. It's not quite as full sounding, is it? But you can get away with that one. If you are doing this bar B minor, you could do the C before it here. Looks like a B flat chord that's been moved up, because then you can just pull back. And when you go back to the A minor, just pull that finger all the way back, which is really nice. So you get this D, C, B minor, A minor. Isn't that lovely? Or if you want to do it for all bar chords. Notice there you really hear that descending pattern, don't you? Because you have the same shape coming down, which is really, really lovely. That's basically it. Now, in terms of the structure of the song, this is quite a simple one, actually. We just have verse, pre-chorus, chorus, so in the order they are on the sheet. Then just make a note that after that first chorus, we're going to do that intro part again, just that long D7. All right, so verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then we're just going to hold a D7. And then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, same again, isn't it, pretty much? And then we've got the last chorus, which is just a repeat. I think on the last chorus, yeah, that's right. Oh, I've gone forward. Let me just, I went in the wrong direction. That's it. The final chorus, we just play these lines here again and again, the Sweet Caroline bit. So we don't do that descending bit at the end. So we just repeat, Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never seem so good, so good, so good. I feel fine. Da, 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 da. And then we just do that again. So basically, we just don't play that bottom line in the final chorus. You'll get an idea, I think, when we get there. You'll be absolutely fine. So that's the structure, really simple. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then a little break. Verse, pre-chorus, and a final chorus, which is lovely. Sheila was just asking, how many beats on B minor? Looks like 3 and then 2 on A minor. Let me just see. B minor. Oh, yeah, that's the Nashville numbers, Sheila. So all of these two measures down here, the D to the C and the B minor to the A minor, half a measure each or 2 beats each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Yeah, it's easy to confuse the slashes for the numbers, isn't it? But yeah, that's what we've got going. That's what we've got going on there. Now, for that instrumental, if you want to, you could kind of muck about with the G major pentatonic scale, just to kind of have a bit of fun with it. You know, the intro just has that D7 chord over and over, and the original bit has a nice trumpet part, doesn't it, which goes da da da. Let me just get my key. Dum ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dum ba da 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 da. That bit with the trumpet. Now, you could just kind of have a noodle about with the G major pentatonic here if you want to. That'll be in your scales reference book, which is free book. You get this for free. Anyone can download it, link in the description. Or in the comments right at the top as well. And we basically just do our G major pentatonic, which can also be paired with the E minor pentatonic. I'm nearly there. Here we go. So just a few more sheets. I should have written it down before, really, shouldn't I? Come on, where are we? There we go. Page 20, if you want to have a look at this one. All right. So the G major pentatonic starts way up here. Indrani, you're right, don't worry. There's the My Girl riff, right? It's the My Girl riff. So the G major pentatonic starts way up at fret 7 of the C string. It goes up to then to fret 9, back to fret 7 on the E string, then your dot fret 10, back to fret 7 again on the A, and fret 10. So it's a really nice pattern. And interestingly, the original trumpet part that I was talking about all fits within this scale. It actually starts on this A note. Okay, but all of the notes, sorry, are within that scale. The next bit, it jumps up to this note. And then eventually it goes way up here. And then right up here. Now, I think it'll take a bit too long to teach you that, but if you have a little noodle around, you'll find the notes quite nicely within that G major pentatonic scale. Now, so there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could try and be really anal and find those notes and play them in that order, which would sound something like... Oh, that's way too... That's the wrong song. Sorry, guys. That's the wrong song. Let me just put Sweet Caroline. I thought that was fast. That would sound like this. So on and so forth. Or you could just noodle around in that G major pentatonic. Just go up and down it. Have a little bit of fun. Or the E minor. And then you join in with the playing. Now, of course, you could just sing the trumpet part. You could just strum a D7 as well. But just in case any regular Kanikapilas want to have a try of that and challenge themselves, you can have a little play about. It's always interesting when the notes from a solo fit perfectly within a pentatonic scale like that, because it shows how so many composers use that pentatonic scale to create melodies, and it's because it takes out the two notes that clash with some of the chords in any key. So basically any of those 5 notes, they just sound great in any order pretty much, which is really great thing when you're composing a melody. All right, let's give it a go then. So one more time, we're going to do intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Then we're going to do the intro part again, that D7, and then verse, pre-chorus, and then 2 choruses at the end. join in with me, have loads of fun, and let's get our Sweet Caroline on. Imagine you're at Wembley and England have just won the World Cup, or Germany in Drani, or France for Esther, or Canada for Karen. Here we go, from the top. Remember, we can do that intro part twice. We got that times 2. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've done it again. Sorry, I forgot to get my words ready. Come on, Matt. Sorry, guys. Just getting my lyrics ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. One, two, three, four. Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Here's our pre-chorus. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da, look at the night, and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only 2. And when I hurt, it runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Pre-chorus. Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Come on, everyone. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Just repeat this line now. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never could. And again. Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never seem so good, so good, so good. I feel inclined, I believe they never would. Let's do that descending bit. And let's finish on a big G. Don't worry, I didn't warn you about that descending bit. Well done, everyone. Of course, on the original record, I put that little descending bit as a little tag at the end. On the original, it doesn't exist. What happens is on the final chorus, as I said originally, it's those 2 lines again and again, and then we have a fade out. But fade outs never seem right, do they, when we're playing live? I have seen bands do fade outs before, but it sounds very strange. Um, Sweet Matthew Stead. I don't know about that, Karen. I don't know about that. You give me a big head. Thank you very much. And Indrani, don't worry, because Germany have won the World Cup more times than England, so you're allowed to sing it. It's absolutely fine. It's all good. Well done, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed that. So that was loads of fun. And thanks, Karen. Thanks for being so brilliant. So let's have a look at our next song. So our next song was written by a band called Banana and Louie. Well, who were Banana and Louie? It was me and my wife Sharon. So you may or may not know that I used to be in indie bands when I was kind of growing up, and that was my thing. That's what got me into music, and got me eventually into ukulele. And we released, I was in a band called A Fine Day for Sailing, and then afterwards we released an album that me and my wife recorded in a little studio in Wood Green in London. And we named ourselves Banana and Louie, there's Banana, after Brian Wilson's two dogs. And you can hear the two dogs at the end of the next song we're going to do in a minute, Caroline No, interestingly. So we named ourselves Banana and Louie. And I was really lucky because I knew some friends who played in an orchestra in London called a Little Orchestra, and basically persuaded them to come into the studio, and we spent weeks and months making this record. And it's great because I got to have a really good pianist play, and a bassoon player, various strings, cellos, all sorts. So it was so much fun to make this record. And we did it. This one I've got on vinyl. Look at this lovely red vinyl. So this is one of my old songs, and I don't tend to do a lot of my old songs because I think it's a little bit egotistical to just play your own stuff, isn't it? But I thought, as soon as we're doing songs about Caroline, we should do it. Now, if you enjoy this one and you want to hear more of it, I did another record recently called Pop, which has all of my old songs on it. It's a bit like a best of my favourite ones that I did. And this one's on lovely bubblegum pink vinyl. Ta-da! You can get both of these on CD as well if you do enjoy them. I think the Alphabet Soup one might have sold out the CDs, but I'll see what I've got anyway. So I just thought it was interesting to show you those. So we never decided who was Banana and who was Louie. We never decided between the two of us. But yeah, that was us in the band with a little orchestra. I've got the CD one here. And it was released on Volwart Records, which was a German label. And inside, that's me in my younger days, pre-beard. And that's me and Sharon in France. And that's us at the top of the Eiffel Tower. So that was the sleeve to the CD one, which was good fun. Anyway, enough blathering on about my old life and stuff. Now, this kind of ties together, interestingly, the other two Caroline songs, because the bassist in our group was convinced that I wrote this song inspired by Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, because some of the chords in it, but actually when you look at the chords, they're kind of quite different. It's in the same, well, actually it wasn't in the same key, I'll explain in a minute, but they're quite different. But ironically, I was actually inspired by Caroline No by the Beach Boys, which is one of my favourite songs of all time in terms of the lyrical content. So it's kind of a little bit ties them together, which is quite sweet. Oh, thank you, Carol. Thank you. So this song's in the key of G again. Originally, this song was in the key of A, but as with all singers, I cannot sing like I used to when I was younger. I wish I could, but I can't. So I've had to take this down a key. So if you're playing along with the record, just be aware that the original's in the key of A. But this I've done in the key of G. Now, I've used some, for this one when I wrote it, there's some interesting chords and some really kind of common combinations as well. So it starts with the G chord, because of course we're in a key of G, so that's our one chord, setting a stall and setting us off on a journey. Then, just like so many folk folk songs, like I mentioned, we have that 4 chord. Notice that when I change from G to C, I often keep this second finger down and pivot on it because I find it makes it really easy to change. So that's a 1 chord to the 4 chord. Then we have what we often call a minor fall, where we play the 4 chord, in this case a C, as a minor. So instead of playing a C major, we follow it with a C minor. Okay. The only difference between a C major and a C minor is that a C minor has this E flat note in it, which makes it sound sad. So I've got G for 2 measures, C for a measure, then C minor. You can either add 2 fingers or do a bar. Then the next bit is kind of interesting. So what I did is I took like a 1, 6, 4, 5 combination, which is a real kind of jazzy chord combination. Happens a lot in a lot of trad jazz music. And the reason I put that B minor in is it links this 4 chord, which is a C minor, together beautifully, because you get these 3 minor chords in a row, and we're going down from C to B and then back up to E, which just sounded really sweet to my ears. It's also a common chord substitution where we play the 3 chords instead of the 1. So you expect a G chord next and you get B minor. So a common thing to do. So that next bit, we've got that B minor, just like we had in Caroline, but in a different context here. So again, you could do the bottom 3 here if you struggle with that B minor. Then E minor going up the stairs, the 4 chord, and then a 5 chord for tension at the end. Okay. Now we're going to do a slightly more, this one I wanted to have a Motown sound, and if you listen to the original, the bass guitar is playing like a Motown riff. So what we want to do is give it a real kind of pounding intro. So instead of walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 we're going to do walk, walk, running, running. Okay, no swing in this one, just straight down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running. Notice that gives it kind of a sense of urgency. So when I put that together with the chords, that will look and sound like this. 2, 3, 4. Same thing again. Then at the end, we've got the 5 chord being played as both a D, then a D7. That's a really common thing to do. I promise I didn't nick that from Sweet Caroline like our bassist for. It's a really common thing to do because by turning it into that 7th, it gives it more of a sense of urgency, more of a cliffhang when it goes to the chorus. Whenever you play the 5 chords as a dominant 7th, it really makes you want to go back to the 1 chord, which we have at the start of the verse here. Now notice the verses are very similar. In fact, it's exactly the same as the first line to the chorus. So we've got the same trick being used in the verse here, where we're going to do the 1 chord to the 4 chords and then turn it into a minor. And we do it twice here. It's almost like some of the chords from the verse, but in a slightly different order. We've got 6, 2, 5. Really, again, I took this from a lot of jazz progressions, just kind of subconsciously rather than consciously. But we've got E minor, that's your 6. A minor, that's your 2 chord. It's a sad sounding chord. And then the tension and a bit more optimism from the 5 chord. Turn that into a 7th. Okay, I'll do a verse for you so you can hear how it sounds. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. I saw you stand tower bridge. You were holding both his hands again. You promised me I was your only one. I guess that you were wrong. And then we do that again. I gaze the waves upon the dirty Thames. I realized I'd lost my way again. It was never really you and me, but only you and him. Okay, like that. The lyrics, I was living in London at the time, hence the Tower Bridge and the Thames and whatnot. I call this song semi-autobiographical. I don't want people reading too much into it. But you'd be glad to know that I wrote this song before I met Sharon. So the kind of sad story has a happy ending because I met Sharon and we lived happily ever after. Just in case you're worried. So let's have a look at the pre-chorus next. Now this, what I did here is I took the chords from the song and I took the chords from the key and I raised them diatonically. That just means the natural chords in the key are going up in pitch. It's almost like the opposite of what happens in Sweet Caroline, which is interesting. So we've got the B minor. Again, you could do your G major 7 if you get stuck on this one. Then C, you could do your C here. Or, just like in the last song, we could do it here, going up. You could take that up to a D here. And then a D7. But I'm going to just do this traditional way. B minor. C, normal. That together, that will look and sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll walk this path in the dark, and then I'm into my chorus, which is the same as the intro again. Caroline. What's the next chord? I should know, it's my song. D, sorry. And then D7. There we go. And that's basically it. That's most of the song. Apart from the bridge and the outro, which is slightly different. And this is actually my favourite part of the song. I'll show you it just quickly. So when we have a look at the structure, it's relatively straightforward again. The intro is the chorus chords. So we do the chorus chords. Thanks, Cara. Do the chorus chords and then two verses, pre-chorus, chorus. And then after that, we do verse, pre-chorus, chorus. So only one verse in the second one. So verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then the bridge and the outro is all one part basically, and it's this last bit here. So what I used is a relative minor, okay, no, sorry, the 2 chord. I'm being daft. What I've got here is the 2 chord building up again in the bridge, so it's going for those chords diatonically, going from A to B to C, and then I relieve it by coming back to G. So A minor. Now notice, can you see there's a little NC written next to it, no chord. Remember, this is always a bit of a kind of misleading in some ways, because no chord means one chord in most cases. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to hit the A minor relatively forcefully, and then we're going to stop it by either introducing fingers on our left hand or our right hand. whatever you find easiest to do. I like to just put down some fingers here. Don't press, because otherwise you'll get a jazzy chord, but just like that. And then you can do the same thing on a B minor. You could do that just by letting the tension go, in fact. And then just start strumming. So it will sound like this. So wait a minute, you haven't killed me yet. I'm still standing. And then can you see those last two chords are greyed out? We're just going to repeat them over and over. In the dark. This is hard to sing, this bit. There's plenty going on. In the dark. There's plenty going on. And we just do that again and again. 16 times, believe it or not. And then we end on a G chord at the end. All right, you'll kind of get the idea. So when we get to the grey chords, just keep playing C minor over and over to the end. And yeah, just enjoy it. This one, you can see there, I'm struggling to sing this even in the key of G. So my voice used to be a lot higher. I must have, I don't know, must have drank too many cups of coffee or something, or the opposite, I don't know. But I can't sing it that high anymore. Okay, let's give it a go then from the top. So remember, we're going to do the chorus as an intro. So chorus, that's the intro. Verse, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then the outro, just go to this bit and play it to the end. And let's have lots of fun. Here we go then, guys. Let me just get lyrics ready. I should remember this since it's my song, shouldn't I? But I still need the lyrics in case. Here we go. Intro first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Standing upon Tower Bridge, you were holding both his hands again. You promised me I was the only one. I guess that you were wrong. Another verse. I gaze the waves upon the dirty Thames. I realized I'd lost my way again. It was never really you and me, but only you and him. Is that pre-chorus? And so walk this path in the dark. Caroline, Caroline, will I ever hold your hand in mine? Caroline, is it over, baby, you and I? Another verse. When we met, you bowled my life away. There was nothing left but you and me. But now you're saying those words to someone else. My bowling ball got lost. Another pre-chorus. And so I'll walk this path in the dark. Caroline, Hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of silliness from me. One of my songs there, Caroline, and that's Banana and Louie we were called, and there's the CD. I was always quite literal with my CDs, so if you kind of take a look at the lyrics to the song, you'll see there's Tower Bridge that I took from an old ink drawing, and the taxi is actually from another song, and the owl is a secret message. And then my grandma was obsessed with flower fairies when she was younger, so I wrote out Banana and Louie using the flower fairy card. So that's what's going on there. I think you can see it better on this one. I think if I hold it up, can you see it says Banana and Louie in the cards in the top right corner? A lot of people didn't realise that when I first did it. And then yeah, from the flower fairies. So there we go. Thanks for humouring me and singing it along. So singing along with me, really appreciate it. So we've got one more Caroline song to go, which is going to be a beautiful song by Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, Caroline No, which is absolutely gorgeous. This one is great. If you've ever been scared of jazz chords, but you've wanted to try them, this one's fantastic because the chords are really relatively simple, even though they're beautiful jazzy chords. So we'll look at that in just a second. So just a reminder, if anyone missed the start of Kanikapila this week, that starting from the end of April, beginning of May, we're going to alternate Kanikapila Mondays, which will still be every Monday, like they every other Monday, like they are now, but fortnightly rather than weekly. And then on the weeks we're not doing that, we're going to introduce the new lessons, Melodic Mondays. So I'm going to teach you how to play a melody. So these will be tabbed out, but also in standard notation as well. And I'll show you how to do them. It won't just be I'll put something on screen and you play it. It will be a full lesson where I teach you how to play it. So we're going to start with one of my pieces, just because I had it ready, Pale Pale Moon. And I'll teach you all of that plus the next bit. It sounds more complex than it is because it's using a melody but using a finger picking technique. But the cool thing is I'll kind of demystify it all and I'll show you how we do it, which will be really great. Thanks Barbara, thanks Sheila, thanks Karen. So we're going to do that for the first one. That's going to be on May the 5th. But after that we'll do some really famous pieces of music. So I was thinking of things like you know, da 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 da. We'll do some classical and all sorts of fun stuff like that, and probably some pop melodies as well, which would be fun. So the first one of those is going to be May the 5th, and the next Kanikapila, because we're away next week, we're still going to do one more Kanikapila before we start those, and that's going to be in 2 weeks' time because it's the bank holiday next Monday. All right, hopefully that makes sense. But if you're not sure, just go to the website, mattsteadukulele.com. Just click on live lessons and it will tell you when the next Kanikapila is and the next Melodic Monday. And you can download your sheets for both there. You'll be able to find them there as well. Now, don't forget, I know we did it as our first song, but we're going to do it in a different key and we're going to work it out by ear. We're going to take everything we learnt in the last live lesson we did about chord personalities and we're going to work out Sweet Caroline by ear, which is going to be really fun. So we'll take a look at that. Fran, they are and they're not. So you King Lady is Karen, but a different Karen from Karen Morrow who does our worksheets. So we've got two Karens in the chat. I hope that makes sense. I've also got another Beatles lesson on the way, but I've got If I Fell up there at the moment if you're doing my Beatles course. I put this one on YouTube just as an example lesson, and it must have hit an algorithm or something because it's had 60,000 views just in a few days, which is really cool. My videos don't normally get that many straight away, so someone must have liked this one. And that's available on the Beatles course. Again, just mattsteadukulele.com. If you're not already a member, it's £10 a month, or 12 depending on which one you use. And don't worry, Fran. You can join 10 courses there available, lots of sequential lessons and all sorts of fun stuff, plus hundreds of free arrangements and video submissions and all that fun stuff. Don't forget, if you're interested in joining me in Spain, there's still chance to book. There's a few places left, but not many. So we're going to a beautiful village in Andalusia called Gaucin, and I'm going to teach over a long weekend with Matt Parkin from the awesome Ukulele Academy, and we're going to do some open mics and some playing live. I'm going to do a concert as well. So if you can join us for that, if you're in Europe and you want to come and join us, do come along. So yeah, that should be good fun. And don't forget, of course, we've also got next year's cruise, which is just, I cannot wait. It's going to be lots of fun, lots of things to look forward to. So brilliant. I'm used to being called Karen. When I first went to university, I won't bore you with the full story, but I was in halls of residence, and back in the day, they used to group us in terms of what we're studying, so people would be kind of roughly in the same groups. And when I first walked into my student residence, there were 3 other people there, and they were all called Matt, and they all studied geography. No word of a lie, the first 3 people I met were all called Matt, and they're all studying geography, including myself. So I was Little Matt because I was the shortest. There was Hat Matt because he always used to wear a cool hat. And there was Welsh Matt. Well, the name gives it away, right? So I'm used to being Matt 1, 2 or 3 or Little Matt, whatever, you know. So yeah, it's all good. Right, let's have a look at Caroline No. This is a beautiful song. This was written by Brian Wilson with Tony Asher, who was a lyricist for much of Pet Sounds, their seminal album. It's interesting because none of the Beach Boys sung on this other than Brian himself. It was originally released as a single. So in 1966, it was the first ever release that wasn't just the Beach Boys, it was just Brian Wilson. Later on, he didn't have a proper solo career until about 1990 when he did his first record. So this was kind of his first solo project properly, years before he went fully solo. But of course, it was also included as the last song on Pet Sounds, which is just a great album. It's written with Tony Asher. Tony Asher was the lyricist for most of Pet Sounds. Brian Wilson always liked to write with another writer, so he used a guy called Gary Usher in the past. He worked with, what was his name? Oh, it's gone. But yeah, he always worked with Mike Love, of course, his cousin, but also lots of other people later on. He always chose a lyricist, and Tony Asher was a lyricist on Pet Sounds. And the song was originally written, but for a girl that Tony Asher used to date called Caroline Amen. So Caroline Amen. It's a cool name, right? But when he penned the lyrics, Carol, I know, the lyrics were meant to be Carol, space, I know. Brian Wilson heard them as Caroline No. So that's how the song came about. I'm blabbing away, but it's just interesting, I think. So Caroline No became Caroline No. That's how the Caroline came to this one. And it's a really lovely record. It's really sparse. It's got some beautiful instruments on it. And it's actually slowed down. It was recorded in 1 key, and then they slowed the tapes down so it had a more melancholic and slow feel to it. So it's actually in a different one, which is nice. Oh, nice, Karen. Yeah. I just love that piece of music. It's just so beautiful, and that melody goes up and down that A string, doesn't it? It's gorgeous. So yeah. Okay then, guys, let's have a look at the chords in this one. Now this one is in the key of D major in the verses, but then in the bridge it temporarily changes to the key of A, which sounds kind of unusual, but it does happen in a lot of Beach Boys songs. So basically the key of D, D would be the 1 chord, E would be 2, F sharp 3, G4, A5, and then we would have a B and then a C sharp. So there's 2 different sharps in the key of D. Okay, don't worry, because we're only going to really use the 2, the 5 and the 1 chords, because this song is based in 2-5-1 progressions, one of the most common thing that you'll find in jazz music. So the 2 chord would be a type of E, D, E, only instead of playing it as a minor, which you'd expect, Brian Wilson plays this as a 6th chord, which is a type of major chord. It sounds really glorious, mystical, but it's really easy to do. You know how when we play no fingers at all, it's a C6? Well, if you think about it, that must mean if we bar the 1st fret, we have a C sharp 6, a D6, remember that one, a D sharp 6, and then an E6. Right. Oh, thanks, Rita. Yeah, really good, thank you. Thanks a lot. I had a bit of a weird weekend. I won't go into details, but it's all a lot better now, which is good. So, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Easter. We've already got the Easter eggs in for the kids, so it's very exciting. We'll have a hunt and all sorts. So 4th fret for E6, and then to go to the D6, which follows, we just float it back. So we're basically going from the 2 chord E to the 1 chord D. Okay, and we're going to do a really simple walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, down, 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 up. Okay, with the measures, that will sound like this. Notice just moving that bar back. Okay. Notice something else interesting here as well. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to have a little bit more coffee. It's probably cold as anything. Gosh, that is. I should have brought a squash up. That's it. That's an interesting temperature. Okay. Now notice when I do the bars for these that I often double up my fingers. So rather than just using my 1st finger, I often place my 2nd finger on top because it's not really needed for anything else. So you can just add strength to that bar. That's E6, D6, E6, D6. We have one more E6. And then we go to an E minor 7. Now that's the chord you would expect in a 2-5-1 because it's a type of minor chord. It looks like a G chord with 1 finger missing. You know how a G chord looks like this. An E minor, we just add that one in there like that. Okay, really sweet, isn't it? So we do that one, and then we move back to an A7, that's the 5 chord. And then rather than a normal D chord, we've got a D major 7. Just means it has the 7th note in the key of D, this C sharp, which is really beautiful. So we've basically got a 2 to 5 played twice. And again, one more time. And then we have a 2-5-1. 2, 5, 1, which is really sweet. Okay. Let me sing over the top so you can see how that works as well. Here we go. Let me just bring it in here. 2, 3, 4. Where did your long hair go? Where is the girl I used to? How could you lose that happy glow? Oh, Caroline, no. Then we do it again. Who took that look away? I remember how you used to Gorgeous. That lovely E minor 7 to A7 to D major 7. I think it's just really beautiful. It really touches my heartstrings, that does. It's gorgeous. Now the next bit is kind of interesting again. We change keys here to the key of A temporarily. Something Brian Wilson was really, he did a lot basically. And we go a fourth above a D to an A. Okay. Hang on, or is that a fifth? D, E, F. Yes, a fifth, I'm being daft. We go a fifth above a D to an A. So the next bit's in A major. So you know how E minor 7, A7, D major 7 was a 2-5-1 in the key of D? Well, we have the same thing going on here at the start in the key of A. A, B, B minor 7, E7, A major 7. So a 2-5-1 in the key of A major, which is really, really beautiful. Just simple jazz chords. So we've got B minor 7 here. And you might think, hang on, we were calling that a 6 chord a minute ago when we were playing it here. It was a D6. But remember how this can be a C6 or an A minor 7? It's the same with any minor 7. It can also be a 6 chord. So we're playing this as a B minor 7. Pulling it back to E7. And then A major 7. It sounds glorious, but it's really easy. It's just, it's like, you know how we would play A major like this? Well, what we need to do is we need to add a G sharp note to it to make it a major 7th, because a G sharp is the 7th note in the key of A. And here's a G sharp, G, G sharp. So basically it's that moved back, but I find it easier to finger like that, okay? So it's glorious sounding chords. B minor 7, E7, A major 7, like that, okay? And then we have a minor 2-5-1. This is crazy, right? But this is a really common thing to happen in jazz. Don't sweat if the chords go a little bit over your head. That's absolutely fine. Oh yeah, add cream to it, Carol, certainly. I like you thinking. So this one, now we've got a minor and a minor 2-5-1 here, and the relative minor of A major is F sharp minor. So we've basically done a 2-5-1 in the relative minor. Now if all that goes, don't sweat it at all. Just learn how to play it because they're beautiful chords, okay? So we have this G sharp minor 7 flat 5. It's a mouthful, right? Otherwise known as a G sharp half diminished. There's two ways you can play this. You can either do what I call the waterfall of fingers, where we have one finger up here and then 3 in a row like this on the next fret over. Or you could play it with a bar on that 2nd fret and touching the top fret here, which is how I tend to play it, like so. See that? I like to use my 1st and 3rd fingers because I can add pressure with my 2nd, like this if I want to. But also, because this finger's longer than this one, it's quite awkward to bend that down, like so. So I tend to play it like that, okay? But you can do 4 fingers if you find it easier to press down. That's absolutely fine. Then we go to a diminished chord here. Oh, hi, Sandy. There's a little message off my daughter there. She might come in and sing the last song in a minute. We'll see if she does. And Bobby says hi as well. It's my little son. Okay, so like so. All right. So we go from this one. It's tricky change to this one. 4 fingers. I like to think of it as like a G shape on the top 3 strings and then your little finger here. And then we flip around to a G7 shape on the top 3 strings for an F sharp minor, which is really beautiful. Okay, so that will look and sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's practice that round a few times. I'll do the 4 finger version first. 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, really beautiful. Let's try that with the first part of the bridge from that B minor 7. 2, 3, 4, B minor 7, E7, A major 7, and then the G sharp minor 7 flat 5. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a major 2-5-1 followed by a minor 2-5-1. Harry's saying hi to you, Sandy and Bobby. I'm sure they're sending virtual hugs as we speak, Harry. Then we go to one more chord. We go to the 2 chord in the key of A, and we're playing it as a half diminished. This is kind of like a way of linking the 2 sections together. It's the same chord shape that we played down here for that half diminished chord, the one like this. But this time it's up at 4 and 5. It's a really beautiful jazzy sounding chord. Can you see that? One finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then we need to cover the other 3 strings at the 5th fret, and you can do it those ways. And this bit, oh my goodness, this bridge, it just melts my heart. It's really really beautiful. Here we go. It'll sound like this. I'll just come out of I'll just do the last part of a verse just to kind of set it out. Break my heart, I really wanna go and cry. It's so sad to watch a sweet thing die. Oh, Caroline. Isn't that gorgeous? Really, really beautiful. I'll do that one more time. I'll slow it down and do it one more time. I think she's going to come and sing the last song. I think she's going to sing the last one. That's my mum, by the way. All the family are here tonight. Just need Sharon as well. Here we go. So get your B minor 7 ready. 2, 3, 4. It's so sad to watch a sweet thing die. Oh, Caroline, why? And then we're just back to another verse. Could I ever find in you again? Until the end. It's really pretty, isn't it? And gorgeous. Now, what I want you to do when you finish this, your homework. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Aloha. It's rainy here now as well, so don't worry. It's rainy in the Pacific and the Atlantic. So what I want you to do when you've finished Kanikapila tonight, go and listen to Pet Sounds, because it's probably the best album ever recorded. And then have a listen to the final track, Caroline No, and see if you can listen to the dogs barking at the end. If you've got dogs in your home, they might go a little bit mad. But that's Banana and Louie, and that's where we got our band name from. So that's where it all comes from. All right, let's give this a go. It's short and sweet, this one. We haven't got any solos or anything. It's just going to go verse, verse, bridge, verse. So that just means this, 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 this. All right, let's give it a try. All right, here we go. I think what I'll do, I'll just play through the top line of the verse, just that E6, D6, and we'll just play that through once instrumentally just to get us going. So from there to there, and we'll do it twice. 2, 3, 4. And again. Then we're going to go back to the top and start a verse. Did your long hair go? Where is the girl I used to know? How could you lose that happy glow? Oh, Caroline, no. Another verse. Who took that look away? I remember how you used to say you'd never change, but It's so sad to watch a sweet thing die. Oh, Caroline, why? Could I ever find in you again the things that made me love you so much then? Could we ever bring them back once they have gone? Oh, Caroline, no. And let's finish on an E6. Yeah, beautiful. So in the original, then the song fades out really beautifully, and we have the sound of a freight train going past, which was actually the sound of the train outside Brian Wilson's garden that he lived near to a train line. So Esther, I know you're not here tonight, but when you watch this back, you've got something in common with Brian Wilson. So if you ever hear freight trains going in the background of Esther's video, it's because she lives near a train line, just like Brian Wilson did. And then you hear the barking of the dogs, Banana and Louie. So there we go, ties all three songs together. Now, for our last song, we're going to have a go at Waterloo by ABBA. Remember that every Kanikapila, or most of them anyway, Karen will run a poll on our Facebook page. And thanks, Karen, for that, by the way. And she'll suggest 4 songs from the Kanikapila vaults, 4 of our favourites. And then you guys get to choose whichever one you'd most like to play as our last song. And tonight you guys chose a bit of ABBA. I mean, why not? Hey, it's just absolutely brilliant. So we're going to do Waterloo to finish off. Interestingly, I love it when all these songs tie together, right? Even though this is the people's choice and I hadn't planned it, it does have a link to the other songs, because Michael Trito, I think his name was, who was the producer of ABBA, he really loved the Phil Spector Wall of Sound, and he loved Phil Spector's music and the Beach Boys music. And for the recording of this one, he tried to harness that wall of sound. That's why it has this kind of big sound, and you hear the trumpets coming in and all sorts of stuff later on, which is really, really sweet. Did Esther do the new drawing? No, that one was me, Karen. But yeah, Esther's very clever with a drawing, isn't she? Look at this one. We've got ABBA here. That's so cool. I love it. Esther's drawings are absolutely fabulous. So he recorded this with that wall of sound, which is really, really nice. And then, of course, they entered it for the Eurovision. What year was it? I'm just having a check in the fascinating facts. 1974, they qualified for the 19th Eurovision contest in Brighton. And, of course, they won. And therefore, this one. Oh, and Michael Trito was the original. I think I was mispronouncing it. So yeah, some good fascinating facts there in the back if you're interested. Karen and Esther always come up with these brilliant fascinating facts here. Fascinating fabricated facts. Some from Cal this week. Low quality offering of internet rumour and gossip, apparently, because Karen wasn't able to do them this time. So that's what we've got in place. But they're still fascinating. They're great. So yeah, there we go. Now, this song's relatively straightforward in terms of our chords. We're in the key of C now, the people's keys, so no sharps and flats to worry about. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And this one doesn't feature any minor chords, bar 1 on the pre-chorus. There's an A minor in there. Other than that, it's all the major chords. So we've got the 1 chord setting the scene, and that's where the song starts. Oh, in terms of strumming on this one, we're going to give this quite a kind of boisterous walk, running, running, running. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we're going to do 1 down and then 3 down ups. Walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. Give it a good bit of swing. that gives you your strum for this one, which is really lovely. Now, where this song's slightly unusual, you've got the 1, 4 and the 5 chords as you'd expect, just like almost every one of our songs has had tonight, apart from Caroline No, which is a really jazzy one. But this time we have the 2 chord being played as a major. In a key of C, that should really be a D minor. But by turning it into a major, gives it a real pop-tastic feel. It feels like the chords are rising in pitch. So we have that C chord, my, and then to the D at Waterloo. And then to our more usual chords of the 5, Napoleon 4 did surrender, back to the 5. Okay, so that G, F, G, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the verses will sound like this. I'll stay on close cam. 2, 3, 4. My, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Then we do it again. Oh yeah, and I have met my destiny in quite a similar. Then we go to the relative minor. That's a really common thing to do, the 6 chord, because that creates like a sense of melancholy, which is lovely, and a sense of drama. In this case, that's an A minor. Okay, up here. So we have that A minor, and notice it's for 3 whole measures here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now at the end here, there's a little bit of a mistake, and Esther and Drani and Karen and Barbara, I'll send these sheets on to you of the correction. What we need to do here, I'll try and explain it, and then I'll show you. You can come and sing. Sandy's coming to join us. I'm just teaching it first, Sans. It won't take long, then you can have a little sing.
Bob's here as well.
Oh, Bobby's going to sing along, are you?
He's not going to sing, he just wants
Oh, okay. All right, Bobby's just going to watch. So the mistake I made, this is my fault, that D7, it needs to be pushed back a measure and only be played for 2 beats. I'll show you exactly what I mean really, really slowly. So on this pre-chorus, we have a whole measure of A minor, another one, and then that 3rd bar over will be 2 A minors, 2 D7s, and then the G as normal, and G7. Okay, so basically ignore that last measure where it says D7 and shift the D7 half a measure back. I'll play it again. A minor, A minor, A minor, D7 and G to G7. All right, that makes sense? One more time. 2, 3, 4. A minor, A minor, A minor, D7, G. Now the chorus is dead easy. It's what you'd expect a bit more of. Harry's telling you you've got to sing, Bobby, whether you like it or not. He's laughing and shaking his head, Harry. The chorus is really, really straightforward. We've got the 1 chord, the 4 chord, just like we have on the verses of folk songs, the 5 chord, back to the 1 chord. And then we just have that 5 chord just to create a sense of tension. And then we go again, C, F, and then we've got G to C, 5 to 1 twice. Okay, same again. Okay, so let's just try a pre-chorus into a chorus just to practice, and then we'll play it all together. All right, so come in on that A minor of the pre-chorus. Let me just get my lyrics ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. The history book on a shelf is always repeating itself. Chorus, Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Oh, Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. we go. Cha-cha-cha. So really nice and simple, that one. Now, in terms of the structure, no solos on this one. We haven't had much soloing tonight, but we'll bring some in for the next Kanikapila. But it's the same thing over and over pretty much. We've got verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. And then instead of having a verse on this last bit, we just jump straight to the pre-chorus and chorus. All right? Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then a pre-chorus and a chorus to finish on. Let's have loads of fun with this. I'll stick around at the end to say goodbye and see if there's any questions. But in the meantime, let's get our ABBA on and have loads of fun. You want to come in around the back, guys? Come on, Bobby, you've got to come in at least to say hello to Harry and Donna. They're watching. Come on and say hello because they've missed you. Come on and say hello. There's Sandy. I'll try and shrink down. Can I make this chair go lower? Whoa, there we go. There they are. There they are. Okay, right. You don't have to sing, Bobby. Just say hello. Okay, here we go. Let me just move this over a smidgen. And what's that? Did someone fart? It wasn't me.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. You did.
That's the same as me, by the way, Barbara, and I'll probably do that now. Thanks, Karen. Okay, here we go. C chord to get us going. I'll have to hold my uke up. There's Bobby. There's Sans. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Mama, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh, yeah. And I have met my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Come on, sons. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise I'll love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Oh, Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. Another verse. My mind, I tried to hold you back, but you were stronger. Oh yeah. When I lose. Sorry guys, here we go, chorus. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. So how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. You take this one, sons. done, guys. High five. High five. Well done, guys. Carol said pretty voice, so well done, Sandy. Well done. So Sandy's really into her singing at the moment. You're who are we going to see this summer, Sans?
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, we're going to see Sabrina Carpenter at Hyde Park, which we're really excited about, aren't we? You're coming as well, aren't you, Bobby? Whether you like it or not. Bob is not quite so excited about Sabrina Carpenter, are you, Bobs? But we'll have loads of fun anyway, which will be good. And I think me and Sandy, we're going to record an album, aren't we, Sans?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be loads of fun. So I'm going to write the music and the chords, and then Sandy's going to write the lyrics, and we're going to release our own album, aren't we, Sans? So because Sandy wants to be a singer when she's older, either a singer or a lawyer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So that we don't have to worry. We can have a house by the seaside, and Sandy will pay for it apparently. So that's all good. There we go. You have to come and join the last song every time now, Sans. Everyone loved it.
I don't know that song. Oh wait, I thought you meant there's a song called.
Oh no! Whichever one we're doing. Carol, Sandy was already learning uke. So Sandy did really well. She won a school talent show a few years back, but now she's learning piano, aren't you, Sans?
Yeah.
So what grade are you doing, Sans? I can't remember. Is it grade 2? Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah. Fantastic. And Bobby doesn't play a musical instrument at the moment, but he's big into his computers. So yeah, he's a whiz on what's it? Pokemon, Minecraft, Bobs?
Yeah.
Roblox, the lot. I think he's going to design his own games when he's older. Either that or be a bird conservationist. So that's great. And Indrani says you could be a singing lawyer. That would be good, won't it? Fantastic. That's my retirement fund. My retirement fund. All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll stick around just in case there's any questions. You guys can head off if you want now. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, guys. Love you loads. See you in a minute. Fantastic. She's grown up so fast now. So, yeah, that's Bobby and Sandy, son and daughter. So, Sandy's 12 and Bobby's 10. They're growing up so quick now. Sandy even made tea for them tonight because I was busy. So she made tomato pasta for everyone, which is really nice. So yeah, they grow up quick, don't they? Thanks everyone for taking part. I've had so much fun. I always love it. It's such a joy to play Kanikapila with you guys. And of course, even when we go to fortnightly, remember I'll be here every single Monday because alternating with the Kanikapila now, we're going to have our Melodic Mondays. I'm really excited about this. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to teach you a melody rather than just the chords. So we're going to start with my melody Pale Pale Moon. And then we're going to do some famous classical melodies. We'll also do some pop melodies, maybe some cool riffs and things like that. And we'll alternate that.
I'm going outside.
Okay, lovely. See you in a minute. And we'll alternate that with Kanikapila, which is great. So next Kanikapila isn't next week because of the bank holiday. We're back the week after that. So just check the website for the schedule. If you're on Facebook, you can also check. Karen does a really great little calendar in the featured part of our Facebook group. If you're not already on the Facebook group, come and join us. We're always happy to welcome new members. From week after next, just because of the bank holiday, we're always happy to welcome new members. It's a really brilliant, supportive group, and there's all sorts of good stuff on there. So do come and check it out. Thanks to Esther, Karen, Indrani, and Barbara for all their help with the sheets and everything, guys. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, well, take care. I'm sending my love. I hope the sunshine comes back out for those of you like me that have the rain at the moment. But the gardens need it, don't they? So it's all good. My wisteria has bloomed. Really excited about it. Oh gosh, I'm just rambling on now, but why not? Let me see if I can show you a picture. Hang on. It's not that exciting, but I kind of live in just a plain old semi-detached brick house, but I'm kind of in denial that it's a cottage. So here we go. So I planted this wisteria almost exactly a year ago on my birthday. I bought it to myself as a birthday present last year, and it grew a little bit last year, but it's gone all the way over the window now, and it's started to flower. So I'm really excited about this. So it's kind of like I've got wisteria climbing up one, I've got jasmine on another wall. I've put up the swift nest and the sparrow colony nest this spring, and then I've got all sorts of planting at the back. So I kind of pretend to myself that I live in a country cottage, even though I don't. So I'm in denial. But yeah, so that's exciting. I love the springtime. It's just the best time of year, isn't it? When all the flowers start coming out, the butterflies are out. There we go. I got my green hair streaks last week. If anyone's into their butterflies and plant and gardening and stuff like that, I'm a bit of a nerd. Go onto Facebook and like my personal page. So Matt Stead is for all the ukulele stuff, and then if you like Matthew Stead on there, that's all my family and butterflies and stuff. I'm just going to show you another picture, and this is where on my birthday last week, Sharon took me down to Stroud. And we went to see these little fellas. Isn't that cute? He's a green hair streak. And it's my absolute favourite butterfly. They're like little green gems that fly about. And when they actually fly, they look brown because their upper part of their wings is brown. And then as soon as they settle on a tree or a shrub like this, you see this beautiful iridescent green colour, hence the name green hair streak. And the hair streak bit comes from, if you look at the wing, see how it's got those white dots, like a streak running down, and that's where they get their name hair streak from. So if you're interested in all that, this is not business related, it's just my personal stuff. Just look up Matthew Stead on Facebook, and you can have a look at all my butterfly photos, because that's where I post them. It's my passionate hobby, basically. Okay, so I'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the next Kanikapila Monday, and the week after that for our very first Melodic Mondays. And don't forget, if you can join me this Wednesday at 3:30 in the afternoon, we've got our Sweet Caroline working it out by ear. So we're going to put everything we learn about chord personalities to use, which will be great. So yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant. All right then, guys, much love, take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. Much love, and Yukon, bye.